Hello, everyone. I'm Cathy Bollinger, Managing Director of York County Community Foundation's Embracing Aging Initiative, where we work to improve how people experience aging in York County, Pennsylvania. One of the ways we do that is through a series of video interviews that we call Senior Moments, reframing the way we talk about aging. We invite people over the age of 50 to join us to share their perspectives on growing older. And I'm so delighted to introduce our guest for this morning. Her name is Joyce Filius. And I met Joyce through a program called OLLI, which stands for Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. And in talking with her, I knew that she had a lot of wonderful tips and ideas to share. And I wanted to have her on this series. Good morning, Joyce.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us today. And let's start with Joyce. I know that you look to your mother as being a role model for aging. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, she was a single mother. And from the time I was 7, my brother was 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember about aging, she never wanted people to know how old she was because women were very much discriminated against. Especially they were discriminated against being female, number one, and then an older female would be, a doomsday. So she had her own business. She had a court reporting agency. She became the first female mayor of her city, and nobody knew her age until they read it in the obituary.
Wow.
So she was a very strong example of, how to conduct my life. So anyway, yes, and I'm not sure where to go from there, but I guess I'm proud of my age. I'm 83, and I'm so happy to have gotten this far. But from early on, I've tried to have a task for every day. I try to have a goal for the next day so that when I get up in the morning, there's somewhere to go, somewhere to be, someone to talk to. And also another thing is a byline of my life is keep moving, stay physically active, because I found exercising, just walking. Sometimes I do laps in the inside of the house, just to keep my body moving. And I find that it improves my attitude and many other facets of my life. And another thing, and I think I mentioned to this that I do, I have a humor book.
Oh, wow.
It's called Quips and Quotes. And, there's some inspirational messages. There are some Pickles cartoons, things I find that, and then some days when I feel just a little dull, I'll open that up and go back and kind of re-energize myself.
So, oh, I love that tip. Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. And, I don't mean to just harangue here, but I really try to be with positive people. I know negative people need help too, but honestly, being with people, number one, energizes me personally. And that's why OLLI has been such an important part of my life, and especially during the pandemic, that the Zoom meetings, we all have had a number of those, but still being with people really helps me go on. But I didn't retire from work until I was 75. To back up, I trained as a teacher initially and taught because I had a highly mobile corporate husband. We moved from Michigan to Kentucky to California to Connecticut and then to Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Yeah. So I taught in Michigan, Kentucky, California. Connecticut, there were no full-time teaching jobs. So I went back to school and retrained as a court reporter, which was my mother's profession, and then had a business for 30 years here, a freelance agency. But I really planned for retirement, and people had always told me, you'll know when you're ready. And I did. So I was 75 and I said, this is time, but I really knew I had to keep active, and because I enjoy being with people. So I looked for volunteer activities, and tutoring for York County Literacy Council is one that I
Oh.
really enjoy. And I've done that, oh my, over 10 years, I think. So,
Wow.
yeah. And then I'm in an investment club and a book club and 2 ally committees and 2 boating groups. Boating is a big part of our lives too. So, so that's I just keep busy, and I try
That's,
to be a good example to my children, 7 grandchildren and 8 great grandchildren.
oh my goodness, that's
Yeah,
very exciting.
yeah, it is. They're very interesting people. And it's wonderful to see how the young girls are succeeding,
Oh,
and this comes from many women, paving the way for them. So
yeah. Wow, Joyce, where there are so many nuggets there and tips and ideas for people to consider. And, one of the things to kind of circle back to what you began with, you talked about how your mother inspired you. From what you're sharing, I know that you're inspiring your children and grandchildren as well as other people that you meet. Like I said, when I met you in the community, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have her on this series because I love your outlook, and it's practical things. And do you ever have a day where it's like it's just maybe you feel a little undermotivated? Do you have any tips to tell for people who are like kind of like, oh, I just can't get myself up and doing what I need to do? Anything?
yes, yes, I'll have a day like that occasionally. And I have kind of a major health issue going on that's been going on for 7 years now. So, and so there are days I wake up and just feel a little weak, just feel, unmotivated. And then I try to track it back to what happened, because I almost always find that something triggered that,
Mhm.
whether it was a remark someone made, whether I didn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, I wasn't happy with my own performance. And they said, just get up and get moving, just do something, fold laundry, empty the dishwasher.
Uh-huh.
So yes, so that's how I handle it. And as I said, I go to my humor book, and there was one Pickles cartoon I love. Uh, Nelson, who's a little boy in that cartoon, asked his
Right.
grandma, how old are you? And she said, the question is, how are you old?
Oh,
Yeah,
very good.
yeah, I thought that was really good.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, Joyce. Well,
yeah,
again, thank you so much for sharing and being part of our series. And it was a pleasure meeting you. And I hope that we can stay connected in the community.
I hope so too.
To
Yeah,
all of you who are watching this, thank you for sharing some of your time with us. And again, if you want to learn more about our series and about Embracing Aging's work, you can visit us at embracingaging.org. Thanks, everyone.
thank you.